Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. My name is Zach. You can find me on YouTube and nowhere else at Pixelated Trash. I'm joined by my good friend, co-host, and of course, editor Jacob. You can find him at NazirTL on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can also find us on Spotify or YouTube at the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. And I'm gonna start us off today, Jacob.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Because I have two stories. One is rather somber.
Oh.
What that I may or may not tell. The second is hilarious.
Is it about an animal?
No.
Okay.
None of this involves harm to anything or anyone involved directly, right?
Okay.
So the second story I'll start with, which technically makes it the first story. So I was doing Uber, as I do for a living. I picked up this guy that was very clearly tweaking on meth, but it's hard to explain if you're not in the deep south. But meth heads, there's two versions of them. There's
two subclasses.
Yeah, there's trailer park, I'm cooking it myself, and like my teeth are gone and everything, there's the like real meth heads. And then there's the Walmart employee that everybody calls Crackhead Tony. And he somehow comes into work every day on meth, but he's fine. He does his job and no one questions it. You know what I mean?
We call those high functioning.
Yeah, but you can't really be a high functioning meth head. But yes, sure. Technically. But so I picked this guy up. I'm not going to give his name or anything. His name is not Tony, just to clarify. But I picked this guy up, and he wants me to take him to an auto repair store where he's going to pick up a truck that his brother-in-law is working on, right?
Yeah.
So on the way there, the first weird shit he does, besides talking the entire goddamn time, which is okay, I like talking, but still, you could tell he was on something. He leans forward from the back seat and starts, like, caressing my beard. And as he's doing that, he's like, if you got this shaped up, it would look a lot better. You could get it, like, and he was just going, like, and I was like, I didn't want to start anything because I wasn't threatened, really, by it. You know what I mean? But
you reached up while he was petting a cat, essentially. But
the what got me out of it basically was because he did that, because he unbuckled his seatbelt. I guess my seatbelt alarm started going off, and that thing won't turn off until the buckle goes back in. So I was like, "Sir, can you please get back in your seat because the alarm's not going to go off?" And he did. So that was good. I appreciated that. Then when we got there, he was like, "Hey man." Me and he named his brother-in-law. He didn't call him his brother-in-law. But he's like, me and my brother-in-law, we've been beefing for a while. He doesn't think I treat his sister right, and blah blah blah. He's like, so I want you to hang out here just in case anything tries to go down. And I was like, sir, I've got other rides to do. I gotta go. And then he handed me $20 in cash, and he was like, please just wait for a second, just for a second. And I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. All right. Everything was fine. The brother-in-law just came out, gave him the keys, and the dude got in his truck and left. But it was fucking weird as hell. I ain't gonna tell the other story because it's sad, but
yeah, it's like
whatever
he was thinking was gonna go down was obviously just in his head.
Yeah,
but it
exactly.
came out because of what he was doing.
The other story I'll summarize. I'm not gonna tell it because first off, I don't verbatim remember it, and I don't think that's fair. But basically, I picked up a guy, a very old man, talked about being in the Vietnam War, and told a very dark story about being in a house with people that got blown up, and they weren't all adults.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a bummer, but generally speaking.
What the hell? Well, I don't know if you know this.
Probably not.
But Sony announced, I think, that the PS5 is on its last leg and the PS6 is around the corner.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. PS5's been out for like 2 years.
I know. That's why I was thinking. What?
I didn't like that noise.
Did it come from me?
I got like a. No, it came from me. I got like a dun like
You got a Windows
everything seems to be
notification?
everything seems to be working fine, but no, it was a but no notification came up. That's what I was saying. Usually that happens when something crashes for me.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't
Anyway,
think the
back to the
PS6
PS5.
is like going to come out, next year, but I think possibly 2026, 2027. And at that point, like if you're going to go ahead and say that at this point, then why would anyone get the PS5? You know what I mean?
That is fair. Like I said, the only reason I want a PS5 personally is because I know that they're going to stop making games on the PS4.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only reason. Like, I want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
I do too.
I know my computer is going to explode if I try to play that on the computer. But I can play it on PS5. It's coming out on PS5. But it's not coming out on PS4. And if Kingdom Come Deliverance itself is any indication, it probably would not run very well on PS4.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think that, I see exactly what you're saying in terms of people that are just trying to keep up with the generation. You know what I mean? But for me, it's literally just so that I can play games that aren't coming to PS4.
I don't think we've recorded since the Summer Game Fest happened.
We haven't, and I have some stories from it.
Okay, well, I want to say a few games that I'm looking forward to, because you might also be looking forward to them as well.
Oh, wait, do you mean the Steam Summer Games Fest? Because I'm talking about the PlayStation Days of Summer thing.
I'm talking about, like, I don't think it was... I'm talking about the Game Fest, Summer Game Fest. It's like
the actual festival? Okay.
It's like a big live stream where a bunch of developers announce their new games coming out.
Yeah. No, my bad. I thought you meant from the Days of Summer sale, that the PlayStation, since you were just talking about the PlayStation.
No. Well,
but I have some stories from that after this. But hit me with it.
So there's a new farming sim coming out that I think me and you both will really enjoy. I messaged you about it. It's called Grave Seasons.
Grave Seasons. I believe you did message me about that, but I think I was very high at the time.
I think the studio that made Five Nights at Freddy's is branching out and has started to fund other developers. And Grave Seasons is one of those developers. It's a farming sim, but you have to stop a serial killer.
Yeah, but do you see who's publishing this?
Isn't that the Five Nights at Freddy guys?
No.
Who is it?
It's fucking Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Like the film company that make all the horror movies.
Yeah.
That's wild. It's how they published games. They made Night Swim, which was terrible, but they made the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's the thing. Blumhouse made that movie.
Yeah, I think this is them launching their first game publishing thing. These are the games to look out for. Because there were a lot of companies that started that announced that they're publishing stuff now. For instance, the people who made Among Us are now publishing other indie games starting this year.
Oh, they made The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. That movie's so fucking good. And The Lazarus Effect. That movie was underrated.
Yeah, I like that movie. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great game.
I got invested into that.
It has...
Oh, hold on. Quick apologies to everyone. I have forgotten to turn my nightlight on, and I am reflecting like I'm on the sun. There we go.
Okay. But it looks like I don't know how to phrase it. It looks like it has more storytelling elements than like Stardew Valley does. It kind of looks more like Graveyard Keeper with the storytelling stuff. Like it probably has a linear story.
If anybody's interested, they're actually in the process of coming out with quite a bit of games. They're coming out with one called Fear the Spotlight, another one called Chrysal Theater of Idols. They got Grave Seasons, of course, Project C, Sleep Awake, and The Simulation, all being produced by Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And really and truly, people, if you're not familiar with Blumhouse and you like horror movies, really give them a look through, because I guarantee they've been involved in some of your favorites. They did Insidious. They did Lawless. They did Mercy, Mockingbird, Oculus, all the Paranormal Activities, Prey, Sinister 2. That a lot of really, in my opinion, good horror movies. So I highly recommend you give that catalog a look through if you are interested. The catalog of games, I mean.
Yes. And then there's another game that I would like to get that I don't know if you're interested in, like Gundams, because I'm not really interested in Gundam the anime.
I have seen so much Gundam. I used to buy the models that took like 3 hours for you to put together yourself.
Yes, I still want to do a stream where we do a model, like we build a model together. But Mecha Break, look that up. That looks like an amazing game. It's not made by the same people that make Armored Core, but it has the same artists that worked on Armored Core.
Armored Core is made by From Software.
Yeah, but it has the same artist, and it is basically a Gundam arena game, which looks amazing.
This does look cool. I haven't heard of this.
Apparently, it's already had a beta, but I've never heard of it until the Summer Game Fest. So like, it had like a closed beta. It's going to have another one in August.
I gotcha. That's when my birthday is, August 23rd.
Shame, but not the 23rd. Let's see. So there was that. Of course, the original creator of Silent Hill is making a new game called Slitherhead, which I also am looking forward to. I don't know if
Slitherhead? I actually have something to show you that I'm excited about.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not so much excited. I'm going to link you to it. I'm not so much excited about it as to play as I am because a streamer I like is potentially going to play it. Are you familiar with Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the movie?
No.
Okay, Killer Clowns from Outer Space means a lot to me for two reasons. The first reason is it is made by the Chiodos brothers. Sorry, that's the second reason. The first reason is it's an amazing, schlocky, B-movie, nonsensical story about clowns from outer space that come down and cocoon people in cotton candy, and then they eat them.
Okay.
The second reason it means a lot to me is that it's made by the Chiodos brothers. The only reason that matters, I don't care about the Chiodos brothers. The only reason it matters, one of my favorite bands is called Chiodos, and it's named after the Chiodos brothers.
The studio's making it.
Ilphonic or TerraVision?
Or Ilphonic. I think
Yeah.
The Creatures, which is an old YouTube group, I think some of them went to work at Ilphonic.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they also made Predator Hunting Ground,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed. Yeah. So they have made some games, and this game is out. It came out on the 4th. But I'm not really excited to play it. I'm just excited to see people play it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at one of the YouTubers I'm talking about. His name's Kutra. He's actually retweeting all of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space stuff. Because I assume he still works there, but yeah.
It's got mostly positive reviews, so.
Yes. Apparently, he is the design director at Ilphonic now.
I gotcha.
It looks cool. It reminds me of It.
The movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, it reminds me of It with the way the clowns look, because they look kind of creepy, but still clown.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, if you ever actually look just at some screen grabs of the movie, it's very schlocky. It's very I don't know how to describe it, but you can definitely tell that it's people in costumes, really pretty bad prosthetics and stuff, but it's really fun as a movie.
Yes.
Because they do actually kill people with like clown gadgets and stuff. It's pretty. It's pretty cool.
Did you ever look up Slitherhead, or have you heard of it before?
Oh, let me do it real fast. Nothing came up. Sliverhead. I just brought up a rock band called Silverhead.
No.
You said it's called Sliverhead?
Okay, Slitter.
Slitterhead. Oh.
Yes.
There
Sorry
we go,
for
much
not
better.
pronunciating it. So essentially,
on Steam. There we go.
it looks like a parasite. Like you play as a parasite that can take over different people, and it's sort of like a puzzle horror in like a way, where you can like change bodies, and apparently you get different abilities. The way the fighting works, it reminds me of Devil May Cry, like that kind of game.
Yeah, it gives off like Platinum Games kind of stuff.
But I think it will be good. Of course, the guy who made the original Silent Hill story is making it.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Also, I not figured out, but I noticed something interesting. Because you said you like the original Silent Hill movie, didn't you?
Yes.
You know, all the music from that actually came from the games.
I think I did know that, actually.
Which is something, as a kid, I don't think I ever put together. Maybe I noticed it, but I was like, hey, this sounds like the game. But I think bar for bar, like it may have, sounded better, but it's just the songs from the games. And even at some points, like the camera will take on like that tank gameplay camera motion where it's just up in the corner following the person.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think the first scene it actually did that in is when the fog Silent Hill actually started turning to like the evil Silent Hill. That's when it started.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Going back and looking at it and noticing these things is really cool.
You know what? Something that I liked, I noticed going back. I rewatched Doom with Carl Urban and The Rock. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
You never seen the Doom movie? But anyway, I always remember that movie being terrible, and for the most part, it is. But there's actually a really cool scene in it that rewatching it like 20 years later and seeing like, I'm like, that was actually pretty cool. There's a scene where it's The Rock and he's going to he's fighting. It might be actually Carl Urban, one of them. But he's like, at first you see him like with his gun, right?
Yeah.
And he turns to like go down this alley or like this like corridor. And as he does that, the camera zooms in and it actually looks like a first person shooter.
Yeah.
And so, like, as he's going down, people are, like, enemies are, like, popping out, and he's, like, doing, like, the, first-person shooter, like, kind of movement. It's actually pretty cool looking back at it, but the movie's not great, but that part was cool.
I would like, so before we go, because you said you had something to talk about the PS5 or whatever, PlayStation
PS4,
Game Fest.
But go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to have some mentions. I'm not particularly excited about these games, but I think they will be good.
Okay.
The same. For instance,
I don't really give a shit about these, but here, listen about them.
Well, they're not my games. So there is a new game.
If you were a game developer this whole time and didn't tell me, that'd be wild.
There's a new Harry Potter game coming out called
I'm
Quidditch
so excited
Champions.
for Quidditch Champions. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And it's going to be a free day one release if you have PlayStation Premium. Yes! I'm so fucking pumped.
There's a new Power Ranger game.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah, it means nothing to me either, but some people like it. Fuck. There's a new Sonic game coming out. There is...
I have seen that. I'm kind of excited for that, I'm not going to lie.
Fuck. There was another
I like
game
Sonic.
that I can't see on this list
Man,
that I
there's a
really
lot of
enjoyed.
games.
Darn. Oh, these two games I am looking for. Of course, I showed you before this, but we've been playing Civilization 5 recently. Just sort of like goofing around. Honestly, we're playing the game, but the conversations, the first night we were naming anime, but all we were doing is changing one word in the anime title to goon. So it could be like Attack on Goon. And we did that for 3 hours. I swear to God, we went through any like well-known anime, and then we started going on to like Disney Channel shows, and then we went to like Mythbusters, so we went to Goonbusters.
You didn't cover this, so check this game out.
Oh, well,
It is.
Civilization 7's coming out. That's what I was leading up to,
Oh, I got you. My bad.
which is nice. And then there's
That's
Dragon
cool.
Ball Sparking Zero, which also looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking hyped. That's gonna have it's expected to have one of the largest rosters in like the history of gaming, but
Ooh.
I don't know if I believe it.
It's made by the same people that made the Budokai games.
Yeah, I mean that's actually ironically that's what they're called in Japan. They're called Dragon Ball Sparking.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they're just keeping the title this time around.
So you linked me a game called Metaphor. It reminds me of Persona, the way it looks.
It's made by the exact same people, made by the exact same team. Being produced by the exact same team, being made by the exact same team, and published by the exact same publisher. This is coming to PS4. I'm extremely excited about it. I linked you the Steam thing though.
Preach.
I can't express to you how hype I am about this. This is Atlus's next like Persona. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's taking Persona and like trying to create a new IP out of that. Like you taking the concept of it. So it's not like a spinoff. I don't think the worlds are connected at all. It's just taking that concept of dungeon diving mixed with like character building, and now this is what they're trying to do with it, and it looks so fucking good.
I might give this one a try too. It does look good. Just like looking at it, like all the graphics look nice.
And plus, you have like a little stick that you skateboard around on. Did you see that little screenshot?
Yeah,
where he's,
it kind of looks
skateboarding
like
around on a stick?
Eureka 7.
Oh, Eureka 7? Yeah.
Is it called Eureka?
Yeah.
I thought it was Eureka.
I don't think it's Eureka. I've always heard it as that, but you might be right. I think you might be right. I bet for like 25 years I've been saying this name wrong.
Yeah, because Eureka is a cry of joy of satisfaction. And then it's like all 7 of them did, kind of thing. At least that's what I thought. To be fair, I never knew how to spell Eureka, but I could read it, I think. So I think that's what it is. But you know, Atlas, like, this game looks great. If any of you watch at all in the future, looks amazing. 10 out of 10.
Yes, sorry.
Would bang. What?
I went on a rabbit hole and found a Reddit post about everybody arguing about how to pronounce it in the title. Because everybody's like, well, you say Eureka like this. Everybody's like, yeah, but they pronounce it by the syllable, so it's Eureka. It's like, okay, oh, fuck it. It's like, I gave up reading.
They pronounce it like this, but what if it's because they didn't know how to read it to begin with?
Man, what the? There's something it slips my mind what it is, but there's something I've seen that's like there was like a Japanese, and then, no, it's not that weird like Ghost Tales dub or anything like that, but
Ghost stories. Fuck you.
Ghost Stories, but it which is, by the way, is hilarious. Everybody should go watch the Ghost Stories dub.
Absolutely.
But it was like the voice actors. I'm trying to remember how it went. It was like a company wanted the Japanese voice actors to do English, but they didn't all speak English, so some of them had to just read it like broken up into individual syllables.
Oh, like they had to read it phonetically?
Yeah, phonetically. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Did you
That,
see? Speaking of phonetically, this is a great segue to this little story.
Are we going to Greece?
No, the
Why not?
So you know how people are graduating. It's that time of year in at least America. There was a
It's
college
the most wonderful
where
time of the year.
there was a college where everyone was graduating, but apparently all the teachers set up the principal or like the dean or something to look stupid. And so when they gave her the cards for like everyone's name to call them up to graduate, they spelled it all out phonetically instead of just putting their name on the card. So like, because you know, if you're reading a name that is just Thomas, but it's spelled phonetically, it looks weird.
Yeah.
Thomas phonetic spelling. Yeah, like, I don't know why they would do that, but it made them look like really dumb. Of course, it made it online, but it's just so funny. And I'm like, that's fucked up. Whoever did that is an evil genius because that's like, it makes them look dumb, and everyone in the crowd doesn't know why they're not pronouncing the name Thomas right.
No, I know what you mean. Oh, before I go on about my PlayStation stuff, I have one more game I would like to speak on, and I would like to link it to you real fast.
Alrighty.
Also, give me a...
There is looking at the list of games from the Summer Game Fest, a lot of them come out in August, even though they're not horror games. So that's cool.
Why the fuck would you put a horror game out in August?
Not August. Fuck.
Why not
October. October. You're right. I don't know why. But a lot of them come out in October. That's what I meant to say.
But take a look at this, and I'll explain it as you're looking.
What is this?
This is a game called Nine Souls, and if Jacob has done his job, he'll probably have put the thingy up on the screen by now, and you'll see the little picture for it. It looks very cutesy. It is horrifying.
It's about gods.
And it is... What?
Is it about gods?
No, not really. It has a lot of like Eastern fantasy, like Japanese and specifically Taiwanese, I believe.
Because Sol, like S-O-L-S, is like a deity.
Oh, I got you. No, I don't believe it's about that. I think it's just a weird way to spell souls. But because slay the nine souls. So maybe they are deities. I don't know. I watched a stream of this a couple days ago. It is one of the coolest fucking games. I don't have it yet myself, so I can't really give any kind of review on it, but it looks cutesy, it looks cool, and then at certain times it is just absolutely horrifying. I will say there's a lot of dark themes, so people might not always vibe with that. There are certain scenes that maybe people would not enjoy if you have triggers to certain things. But it's made by Red Candle Games. That's the other cool thing. If nobody's familiar with that, which I'm sure some of you are, it is the company that made Detention, which is a very, very good third-person horror game. Or actually, side-scrolling horror? Yeah, side-scrolling horror game. I actually do have a playthrough of Detention up on my YouTube channel, but it is privated.
Why?
Not for any bad reason. I still haven't gone through and figured out which of the ones I want to unprivate and keep private, because there was some where it just wasn't entertaining, or my past co-host said something that I did not approve of,
True.
So
True. It does look good. It reminds me of Dead Cells to an extent.
Similar. Yeah, Hollow Knight also. Very similar to Hollow Knight from what I've seen of it.
Nice. What were these games?
And also,
continue.
One more thing, sorry. This, I want you to see.
Creation.
Did you know this came out?
Oh.
Came out like 6 days ago. Yeah.
I heard there for a mission in Starfield, they're charging like $8 for a single mission.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, like through their like content creation thing. Creators Club, yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. But this looks cool. It is a Starfield creation kit. So you can make all these mods
Yeah.
and stuff. It looks pretty easy.
Now, I want to say, okay. What Bethesda has done with modding is abhorrent. The Creation Club is great in theory because it lets modders get paid, right? And which I agree with, obviously. But back before that, you know, they had to rely on like PayPal tips or, you know, Cash App or whatever to like have people donate, you know, because they couldn't actually make money off the mod. So I feel that. That being said, if I go right now to Steam and I hit Starfield creation credits, by the way, this is the way they do it now. There are plenty of free mods, don't get me wrong, but the top ones that are like the highest produced are being put into this creation club. For $50, I would get 5,500 credits. Right?
Yeah.
So let's just go over to the Starfield creator. I misspelled everything. Why can't I spell creator?
That sounds like a skill
Creators
issue.
Club. Yeah, as the creation club. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. The essential... The thing I want you to understand is that with everything they have on the Creators Club, in the Creators Club,
Yeah.
it is literally, for instance, like what you were saying, there is one quest costs you about $7 in creation credits. So think about that. $7 in creation credits, 50 only gets you 5,500. So how fucking much of all these goddamn... That's probably like 800, 700, 800 credits.
Yeah.
So like for a single mission, like... I hate Bethesda, unironically. Love their games, except Starfield. Hate Bethesda, though.
Well, just because you brought up this, Baldur's Gate is finally releasing their modding tools, which is going to be really nice.
Yeah, but that's Larian Studios, and they're good people.
I know, but just fucking reminded me of it. Fuck you.
I'm talking about bad people.
And I'm talking about good
Like
people. We evened
Bethesda.
out. All right. What games got you excited on this PlayStation thing?
So, I want to clarify. It's not like a PlayStation Press thing. It's their sale they have going on the PlayStation Store.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I have picked up, and I have not finished some of these, and I'll explain. But the games that I have gotten are amazing. I got the
amazing.
remasters.
Sorry.
So, are you familiar with Stalker?
Yeah.
Okay. In preparation of Stalker 2 coming out, CGC, I think is what they're called, made a remaster, like, update for consoles for the first time ever. And they released in a trilogy called Stalker Tales of the Zone or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, Stalker Clear Sky, and Stalker Call of Pripyat. And they're some of my favorite games ever, and it's amazing. They're all like remastered. They got like better graphics. Their controls are better. There is one overarching issue in that rain is a very glitchy sound effect in the remasters, but I can overlook that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I absolutely adore them. I've been playing Call of Pripyat first because it's my favorite one. But I absolutely adore those games. And I'm really excited for Stalker 2. But
So is
the
Josh.
other game... What'd you say?
I said so is Josh. He's excited for all the Stalker games.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. For anyone who doesn't know, Stalker is based off a short novella done by two Russian or maybe Ukrainian brothers called Roadside Picnic. Then, which has also influenced Fallout and Metro, if anybody is familiar with those series. But I'm trying not to say so much, but I'm trying to think. I'm talking so fast, I'm losing my words. The overarching story is Chernobyl explodes, and then there's like a catastrophic like fallout from it. Like not like the real life version, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like massive fallout from it. And it causes all these like supernatural events. And so people go into the zone, is what it's called. It's the Chernobyl exclusion zone. And when they go in, they find these things called artifacts that are like these, they give you massive radiation, but while you're using them, they heighten you like a superhero almost in certain ways. So if you use them for too long, you'll die. But if you just use them for short periods of time, you're good. And then there's also artifacts that actually can reduce the radiation. So you can get an artifact that reduces radiation while using another artifact that boosts your actual abilities and causes radiation, so they balance out. But my favorite game in the series is Call of Pripyat. I don't really have a specific reason. It's just, it was the first one I played, and it's always kind of stuck with me. But Clear Sky is also a lot of fun. It had a lot of all of the Stalker games have a lot of really innovative AI. They are not innovative in terms of combat, but they're innovative in the terms of like, you know how when people were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, they'd be like, oh, you can follow around a person, see their entire day, you know?
Yeah.
You can do that in Stalker. Right, and that's a game that came out in 2009, and then like I think 2006 is when Clear Sky came out. So it's like the fact that you could do it in those games already, that, you know what I mean? That's impressive.
Yes, I agree. There was something that I forgot to tell you about, but it's a game that's on your wish list that's going to be free on the 18th.
What is it?
Nightfall: A Daring Journey. It looks like, I don't know, a bunch of knights with guns. But apparently Steam's giving it away for free on the 18th.
Oh yeah, this game. I forgot I ever put this on my damn wish list.
But you should get it, because I'll get it on the 18th, and it's free. It's not like anything bad. But since you wanted it anyway, we could try and play that on stream.
2 knights, a strong bond, and a long journey. Take up the race for the rose. Ride from town to town and take shelter before nightfall by any means necessary. If your bond is strong and your horses drift well, you can be the recipient of the fabled rose. Luckily, you brought a gun. Okay.
But yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just remembered that it was on your wish list. And I was like, fuck, I got.
Oh, and it's got co-op. That's cool. So we can like work together as a team against other players. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know you'll have to remind me on the 18th. I'm bad at keeping up with this kind of stuff. But if you remind me, I'll make sure I pop on and grab it. Okay, so sorry, I was ranting about what's it called? I was ranting about Stalker, but actually we're on to the next game. And I know you're gonna laugh, but I fucking love it. And I know everyone else hates it. And that is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the definitive edition.
What? No. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is the best Grand Theft Auto.
That doesn't matter. It's the definitive edition, the remake. Remember that everybody hated? The remasters that came out?
I didn't know that it came out.
Oh, yeah, in like 2023, I think?
Is that the phone version?
Kind of. No, it's like, just Google Grand Theft Auto Definitive Trilogy. Here, I'll link you on Steam to Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition. Here. Now, they have since updated this significantly, and it is a lot better. And I have had so much fun with it. But when it came out, it was a disaster. The whole definitive trilogy, because the definitive trilogy was complete remakes done by Grove Street Games, who are the people that ported the original games to mobile.
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah.
But this was a remake, not a remake, but a remaster. And honestly, I adored it.
It doesn't look bad at all.
It is. It doesn't. But and the thing is, it wasn't the graphics that was really the problem. It was the performance, we should say, of the game. That was the problem.
Damn, $60.
There was a lot of glitches. Well, it's not for the game. You get all 3 games. You get GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas Definitive Edition. You get all of the definitive editions.
Yeah.
But I only got San Andreas because it was free for the month or for PlayStation Premium. And I just absolutely adored it. It was so fucking good. I want to let people know, if you have a PS4 out there and you don't mind some of the worst shooting mechanics you've ever seen in a video game, that's what I was going to say. The game itself is not any better than the original San Andreas.
Could you put in the old cheat codes?
Some of them, not all of them.
Damn it.
So, my number one complaint with San Andreas, sorry, I cut my hands in front of my mouth and I screamed the microphone. My number one complaint about San Andreas is the checkpoint system in the fucking levels. You can't save the game, right?
Yeah.
You have to let it checkpoint. So you'll do okay. One of the missions I did last night, I played it for a good bit. I was on a boat, okay? And I had to stealth kill these guys to get around on the boat. Then I had to shoot through a bunch of other guys to get down to the bottom of the boat. Then from the bottom of the boat, I had to shoot through more guys. We're talking like a cargo boat, by the way. There's a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
Then I had to shoot the lock off of a storage container. Then I had to get all of those people from the storage container up to the top by shooting more people. Then I had to go up and shoot more people to kill the leader. And the leader made me fight him with a samurai sword, which was funny. But through all of that, I had 2 health refills that I managed to find, and there was not a single checkpoint.
So the whole mission just had no checkpoints.
So every time I died, the checkpoint was literally the only checkpoint I got was the 5 seconds it took to drive from the shore in my boat to where I needed to be. That was the only checkpoint. So once you got on the boat, you had to do everything. And that game just... It's not the remake's fault. The game just sucks when it comes to combat. It's
the original one did
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not their fault. It just sucks when it comes to combat. It is not fun. And so when you're doing all these hard-ass missions, but then when you're doing the fun missions, or you're doing the shit where you're driving around and eating fast food and going to gyms and buying houses and fixing cars up and doing all that stuff, that's great. That's a lot of fun. But man, the combat in that game is just... It is awful. And then the checkpoint system, I don't know why they thought maybe not to add just like a save option, you know?
Yeah.
Just like, that's all they needed to put in, is just the ability to manually save.
That reminds me of, not GTA, but I have 2 things. So one, I feel like whenever like a company hands their IP over to someone to like remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it, they sort of don't give them the full reins to do everything they want. For instance,
yeah, that's fair.
With the new Pokemon games, like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, they're remakes of Diamond and Pearl. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they have the same issues as Diamond and Pearl, because they couldn't change anything about like the game. They could only upgrade the graphics and stuff like that, really. Yeah. So all the things that were like fixed in Platinum weren't fixed in Shining, or Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. even though it was a simple thing. Like, they could have just handed them platinum and told them to do it, but they didn't. So they really, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, why? And it's probably because, Nintendo didn't, or Game Freak didn't trust them with that IP. So I have a feeling it's the same way. Like, I'm sure if that company was given the ability to make combat not garbage, they would have.
Yeah,
And then
I believe that.
Grand Theft Auto was the first, I think, first PlayStation 2 game I ever bought, San Andreas. And I still remember, as everyone does, if you ever played, like, PlayStation Grand Theft Autos or whatever, just the notepad sheet with just all of the cheats written down from GameFAQs. Oh my god. It was amazing.
Yeah, no. Some of the cheats work, some of them don't. I assume they took some of them out because they added achievements and like they don't want you to give yourself like infinite health and stuff. But some of them work and some of them don't. So. Oh, speaking of, that was all I had to say about that, and we are about to wrap this episode up. But should I save this last thing for the next episode? Maybe.
You can go ahead and put it in.
Okay. I would like to show you this. A streamer I like a lot named K-Pop played it last night, and I was extremely interested in it. It is basically like an anime Stardew Valley. And it is, except
you know
that
what?
I
I saw
there's
this
combat.
earlier somewhere, and I was going to link it to you. I remember pulling this up
I have
this
already
morning,
added it to my wish list.
which is crazy. I think this is in the Game Fest that's going on right now. Maybe that's where I saw it. Oh,
Yeah, for anybody interested, it is a game called Sunny Side. It is a Japanese take on the kind of Stardew Valley thing. It is extremely in-depth. It has mixed reviews. I'm not going to read through them personally, but I don't really know why. From what I've seen, it looks good. It looks really, really good and fun. I watched about I think K-pop stream for like 3 hours of it, and it looked really cute. It looked really good. I don't know why it's mixed. Maybe it gets boring later in the game and stuff after you've kind of like fleshed it out. But let me actually take a peek down and see if any of these negative reviews. I've been torn on writing this for a while. I have 106 hours in the game. I think I can make a conclusion. Probably worth a buy once certain things are fixed. So the battle uses like an RNG system. Marriage was removed from the early access promise. People are mad there's no roadmap. Apparently the RNG, the random number generation, is incredibly obnoxious in this. Seed availability is randomly generated, including ones you need for skill node unlocks. Required crafting material is randomly generated, including ones you need for MSQ progression. What cards of Fuda you have available is randomly generated, including ones you need for battle ability progression. Okay.
Well, would you like to go ahead?
So there's some balancing issues. So don't take me watching a stream of it for 3 hours as gospel, but it looked really good to me. So if you're willing to put up with what seems to be maybe some frustrating elements, I recommend it still.
True. With that,
and I will go ahead and send us off. Thank you all so much for watching. This was the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you listened on Spotify, you can watch on YouTube at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you watched on YouTube, you can listen on Spotify at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you would like, you can find Jacob over at NazirTL on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And you can find me at Pixelated Trash over on YouTube. Oh, you can also find us on Twitter at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast, extra F because the original was taken. And now you can find us on Twitch at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast, or the Fluffy Biscuits. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.